want to thank you guys for all your support in my last video. A lot of people watched it and a lot of you had questions about what to put with the chicken that I meal prep for the week. So I'm just literally eating lunch myself, and so I thought I'd make this quick impromptu video. I didn't wear makeup today. My kitchen is really not Pinterest worthy here. I just threw my ingredients on the counter. I'm about to make my own lunch. My kids ate lunch already somehow. Of course, mom life. Yeah, so I prepped chicken, and then a lot of people asked, well, what should I put with it? That chicken will last me about 3 days, honestly. Maybe a week. If it goes past 3 days, you should probably freeze it. And I promise, frozen cooked chicken still cooks really fast. I mean, it's like, instead of cooking, you're just reheating something that's frozen. It only takes like 5 minutes. So it's just me here. My husband's at work. The kids already ate. So I only took one piece of chicken out. And what I decided to do, and I'm literally making this recipe up right now, is I figured the easiest thing right now is an e-meal. I have some quinoa that I had also prepped. I actually prepped this a couple days ago, and I have just like kept this in the fridge. And then I'm gonna add some frozen onions, some baby carrots. I should cook those first because they're not frozen. And some frozen peppers, some frozen broccoli, and I'm gonna cook that all in some chicken broth that I made. You can use, for an e-meal, you can use fat-free chicken broth that you purchased, or you can just make it. Every time your family eats a chicken, all you'd need to do is simmer the bones. You can Google recipes, it's really easy, but basically you can just simmer the bones in a crock pot or in a regular pot on your stove, and that makes chicken broth. There's not really a way for me to know that this is fat-free, but you can kind of see how much fat is going in. Remember, you can have up to a teaspoon of fat in an e-meal. I'm gonna just assume that this is about a teaspoon of fat going in. I'm not too worried about that because I'm a nurser, but you can use fat-free chicken broth, or you can use water or a little bit of oil to cook. So I am throwing this chicken and all these veggies in with some chicken broth, and I'm making myself a chicken veggie soup for lunch. This is gonna take me like 5 minutes. It feels like someone cooked for me already, because the other night, a couple days ago for lunch, I made a huge thing of quinoa. I had to make some anyway, so might as well make a bunch. And then yesterday, I baked a bunch of chicken, more than I needed, and so it kind of feels like someone already cooked for me, and I'm just like, this takes less time than going to the drive-thru, you guys. First, I'm gonna simmer my frozen onions. I'm gonna put those in with the baby carrots, because the baby carrots are probably gonna be a little al dente, to tell you the truth. And I'm gonna let that cook. This is like 1.5 cups of chicken broth, but I will probably add more if I have room for it. And you know, you add whatever spices you want. I'm gonna add salt. Salt and pepper. And honestly, you guys, spices get expensive if you're on a budget. So if you're on a budget, keep it simple, keep it salt and pepper. I'm gonna add some basil and garlic to mine. You can literally just do this to taste. This is not even a recipe. I'm making this up right now. You don't have to overthink it or measure every little thing. So those carrots are, I'm gonna turn that on high and let that boil for a second. The carrots weren't frozen, so that means they weren't blanched or cooked, so they're gonna take a little bit longer than all the frozen veggies. While that's happening, I'm gonna take this piece of chicken. This one piece is probably about 4 ounces of protein, I'm assuming. And I'm just gonna shred it, take all the gross parts off, and throw the bone away. Now, if you wanna save the bones to make bone broth, you could do that, and that's really easy to make. Like I said, you can Google recipes, add a little apple cider vinegar to it, and that's really healthy. But yeah, I'm definitely not an expert at THM. I find out all the time that I'm making mistakes, but I will say I have lost the baby weight from 2 babies now on THM. I found THM when I was breastfeeding my eldest, and I've had 3 pregnancies that I've lost weight from, and I've actually experienced 2 pregnancies on THM. For me, being a person who nursing is really important to me. There's a lot of diets out there that are wonderful. I mean, different things work for different people, but for me as a mom, when I was pregnant and nursing, there was a lot of people out there that just won't even talk to you about nutrition because it's so specific and they aren't trained in nutrition for pregnant and nursing mothers. And I can tell you that my milk supply with this lifestyle is much higher than it was before I found it, and I'm actually losing weight because I'm the type of person that loses weight very slowly when I'm nursing. And if you really want to make sure that you keep it to an e-meal, you can actually rinse this fat off, rinse it in hot water. I'm not that worried about it. I'm not adding any additional fat to this meal, and if I was on a huge plateau or something, maybe I'd worry about it. Okay, so the chicken is fully cooked and it's not frozen, so I'm going to add that last. I'm going to add a little bit of green peppers. I haven't had any greens today, so even though broccoli goes with S or E, I'm just going to add a little bit of broccoli. And this is probably going to be more than I can eat, which is great because I can just have it for dinner. Again, my husband works a long day today. Don't judge me, but there's some leftovers in the fridge that looks like a little bit of broccoli and cauliflower and zucchini, just a tiny bit. Throwing it in. I'm going to add a little bit more chicken broth just to make sure it's covered. And this is optional. I think I'll sprinkle in a little collagen for added protein. I will link all of these products below, and if you're going to buy any THM products anyway, consider buying them through my link because it helps support the channel. I get questions all the time, and so just showing you what I'm eating for lunch. Hopefully it helps you save some money or eat a little bit healthier or not be tempted to eat out when it's not as healthy and you can't really afford it. So here's what it's looking like right now. Like I said, I threw in some chicken broth, some frozen veggies, and some baby carrots, and I threw in a little bit of leftovers and I threw in a little bit of collagen. I still have yet to add the chicken, which is fully cooked, and the quinoa rice blend that is fully cooked. That was already in my refrigerator. Okay, this is boiling, which tells me that the frozen stuff is pretty close. Okay, I'm just gonna throw this chicken in there. This is one piece of chicken that I just took it off the bone. Okay, and here's my fuel. This is 3/4 of a cup of grains. This is a quinoa rice blend. I would typically do one or the other, but Walmart substituted this. Yeah, I don't know. It's good though. Without this, just the chicken, low-fat chicken and veggies, there might be enough carbs in the carrots, onions, and green peppers. There might be enough carbs, but that's not really going to take you very far. If you're looking to do a fuel pool, that's great, depending on where you're at in your journey. But if you need fuel to keep you to the next meal, especially if you're nursing, running after little ones, 3/4 of a cup of grains. You don't want to do more than that because that's going to be too much fuel. So I'm going to add that. I'm going to cover it with the chicken broth. I'll bring it to one more boil and let it simmer for a couple minutes. Just gonna show you. Sorry, it is a mess in my kitchen. This is real life, but I hope that this helps you. If I wasn't shooting a video, I'm pretty sure that this would take me maybe 7 minutes to throw all this together. Actually, the baby carrots are pretty close to soft. Almost perfect. And only 5 minutes. The chicken is heated through. Okay, is the broccoli done? Hey, hun. She's feeling smothered. Step away from her. Respect her. Respect her body. If she doesn't like something, give her some space, okay? It's delicious. Only thing I would add is a little more salt. Okay, I just dished it up for myself and there's a lot left in the pot. Okay, there's a lot left in the pot. So that's awesome because I can have it again for dinner. The breakfast I had today totally filled me up for like 4 hours, and that was a quinoa rice hot cereal. I'll link that video below in case you haven't seen it. Bon appetit! And I hope you found this helpful and healthful. Yeah, that was like 5 minutes. Oh my goodness, I ate. Oh, my baby is happily doing a puzzle over there, so hopefully I can do this. Ooh. And you can. My baby. My daughter made her own vanilla yogurt by adding maple syrup and vanilla extract to some whole milk yogurt.